All right, take 95 of this intro. Oh my gosh. I have not done one of these in 5 years. Podcast intro. Holy shit. This is a tough one to do. I've had to do many takes of this because how do you even... Look, long story short, I used to have a podcast called Smiley Frown. I stopped doing it during COVID. 2020 hit, world ended, comedy ended. I'm like, what's the point of doing this podcast? This is insane. Tried to do a few episodes when COVID started to end. Thought, hey, let's get back into it. Things might be getting back to normal. Tried to do a few episodes. Still felt like, what is the point of this? And never... That was kind of the end of Smiley Frown. But who knows? Who knows? Things might come back. And on those lost tapes, I came across an episode I did with my friend Jay, Jay Agbon. Jay passed a little over a year ago, and you know, I've been sitting on this episode for a minute. I didn't kind of know how to go about it. Like, basically, at the end of the day, I just think it'd be nice for us who knew him to hear this, and for those of you who may not know him, kind of maybe get an idea of who he is through this hour episode. I've done this intro, as I said before, many takes, and it's tough not to get emotional about this. And I thought, hey, but why am I being like sad and like it's so? I'm gonna handle this intro like Jay handled life, and that was with positivity and love, and just being friendly. Jay, it's tough to sum up a guy like Jay in a few words. Jay was everybody's friend, man. This guy had a contagious smile like you wouldn't believe. The minute you met Jay, you guys were friends. It was without question. And if you met somebody who knew Jay, you were friends. He was such a cohesive glue amongst so many comics and people. Because the guy radiated love and positivity. The best way I personally like to, I don't even know how to summarize Jay, is no matter what you were going through, the minute you saw Jay, you had this feeling wash over you that everything was going to be all right. And that is something you can't teach, you can't learn. That is a gift you were born with. And that is what Jay did. He just had a feeling of like, it's going to be okay. I think when you have someone that you care about or love pass, I think a great way, this is me personally, a great way to remember them and always remember them is kind of practice some of the things that you learn from them in your everyday life. And the biggest lesson I learned from Jay was to always, or at least try to always be friendly and loving to people, because you never know what people are going through, and it means so much to people sometimes when you just show up with a smile. And I try to practice that in my everyday. Now, am I always able to practice that? Nah, I'm not. I don't necessarily have that gift like Jay had. But it's something I try to always do, because Jay was that. He was just such an incredible friend, person. I mean, just really, it's just shoes you can't fill, man. So let's get into it. Made it through this intro. Let's go. These have been tough. Let's get into it. If you don't know, check out Jay's special on YouTube. Check out his Instagram at Agbon. Just check it out. He was so funny, and so endearing. Jay, I love you so much. We all love you so much. We miss you every day. You were just a top to bottom incredible person. We all just love you so much, and we miss you terribly. And there's so many things that I wish I could talk to you about. I've had so many times where I've wanted to just call you and text you with just whatever's going on, and I can't, and we all can't, and it's very tough. But Jay, I love you. We all love you. I can't say that enough. We all miss you so much, buddy. So let's get into it. Enjoy this episode with Jay Agbon. It is so incredibly beautiful to hear his voice and hear this conversation, and I'm so thankful that I got to have it with him. So without further ado, please just enjoy and love and appreciate the myth, the man, the legend, the one and only, the light of positivity, the real deal comic, Jay Agbon.
Yeah. Well, I got a bone to pick like roses. I ain't feeling broken no more. Bought a fist that got spin, I noticed. Talking shit, I wonder through the motives. Wonder who the fuck I'm supposed to be. I ain't worried now until I leave. I'm just trying to ride and feel the breeze with something bad beside next to me. Wind in my face. Don't stop now when I feel so great. You can run till you slip on the sidewalk, and the same bone that you pick on break. That's a motif. Yeah. When it's coming right back. So familiar, never been realer. Never felt so damn good where I'm at. I don't know what it's all about. Running through too many thoughts to count.
That's way better.
Still ain't adding up. I'll let you know when I had enough. Yeah.
What you're talking about. Word. All right, Jay, welcome to the pod. I'm going to start by saying hello, Jay's parents. Because Jay said you guys listen to everything.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, no, they definitely do.
That's good.
Yeah, like when I had like a podcast of my own, my first stint in Dallas, and like I don't know how, but my mom just like found it. It was like I got in a car one day and it's playing, and I was like, and it took a second because you know it takes a second to register it's your voice playing.
Right.
And I'm like, we're driving, and then I hear like me say something I had said earlier that week, and I'm like, is this my podcast? She's like, yeah, I found it. I'm like, what? No.
Dude, it's brutal. Like and I said before, right before we got on, my parents used to listen to my podcast, and they don't anymore because of the content. They're like, we don't want to know too much about you. Like, we know too much about you, which is good. Now I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, you throw one too many dicks in there, and your parents just
more. I'd like drug use and stuff. They knew, but they didn't know. No.
Yeah, no.
But that's no more. That was once upon a time. That was a long time ago. We did a show last night.
Yes.
During these crazy times. Mm-hmm. How did you feel? Was that your first time going up since, or?
No, I've done like a bunch of outdoor socially distanced air quote shows. You know how those go.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, as far as the feds are concerned, so was this one. But it was like it was good though. It was like it felt good to be, because all the outdoor ones.
Right.
Feel kind of weird. They're nice.
It's a different
they're
element,
fun,
man.
But yeah, it's like a
picnic, and you're just like, all right, my turn to talk at this picnic. It's not the most fun. It is fun. It is fun. I think it's not. It's just different. Yeah.
It's like you ever watch the Disney Channel original movie Johnny Tsunami?
Yes, of course. I wanted to be a surfer after that.
Exactly.
That was my thing.
He goes from surfing and then he goes to snowboarding, and he's okay at snowboarding when he first starts, but he's like, it's a board, so I get it.
Yeah.
But there are different like dynamics. It's like that. It's like it's
That's
comedy.
That's the most interesting comparison. What a callback to childhood. No, yeah, it's just different. It's just a little. I mean, for right now, it's a blessing to have any show that we can get, but to do the ones you can indoors are incredible.
Yeah, like being able to do one indoor, yeah, it felt like being home again. You get like, especially when you get into it and you're running like lines and your brain is like working on full pistons. You have the familiar light in your eye, And
yeah,
it's
and
like,
you can the laughs don't go just dissipate into the trees. Like
yeah,
they
you don't have
bounce
to
off.
like
Yeah.
zoom in on one person to like focus on their laughter, which is what I do for like outdoor shows. I'm just like focusing on one person in
Also,
the middle.
People aren't sitting in lawn chairs,
Yeah.
which helps like give it. I think when people are uncomfortable or if they're kind of propped, because most shows are like in metal chairs.
Yeah.
Or when you're propped up, you feel a little out of your element. You're more vulnerable than when you're just like, dude, like. I say this to everybody who runs a draft house. They know I love them there. They know they love me. But you got to get rid of the office chairs.
Oh yeah, the DC draft. Yeah, it's super.
Arlington has office chairs. DC has good uncomfortable metal chairs is what you want. But when you're performing to a crowd and they're leaning back in their chair like they're watching Netflix, you're like, yeah, you're not gonna laugh. you're too comfortable.
They're comfortable. Yeah,
they're looking at you like, yeah, I heard it. It's like you haven't heard it.
That's why I like you have places like Hunt that's like metal.
Everybody's shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, they're like the metal quinceañera chairs. You're like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna laugh here.
Which is now the worst environment possible to be in a comedy. Like what makes a great comedy room is now like the worst thing.
You need like a small, like the best comedy rooms are small, cramped-ish basements that are like the laughs bounce off the wall. Everybody is like there. If you have a comedian green room, it's just the back of the room, and it's wonderful. But yeah, you can't do that.
Those
anymore.
having shows where the green rooms in the back are great because comics, when there's a normal green room, comics don't have to listen to other comics like kill, so people can just kind of be distanced. It's so funny when you're in the back listening to a show, you have to hear people kill that you don't like, and it really lights a fire up on you. It makes it's like I think it's honestly better.
Yeah,
like, I do like green rooms that have TVs in the green room that show what's going on stage.
Yeah, that's nice, but it is still separate though. You can have like a whole conversation and ignore what's on the screen. Whereas, yeah, like you said, if you're like in the back of the room, you can see someone murder, and now you're like, oh fuck. You see like 3 people in a row murder, you're like,
that's so funny, man. I do miss that of being like, I just want to run some new stuff, take it easy tonight, and it's just murderers row. People are just like killing. You're like, great. I guess I have to give everything I have tonight. I wanted to go to bed early. I wanted to sleep.
It's just like, yeah, I can only imagine. Actually, I don't have to imagine, but I can remember times you're like back on Hunt or like St. X and people are just murdering, and you're like, oh god, okay, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, fuck. It's such a weird. That's one of the things too, and we'll get into the topic in a bit. It always starts off talking shop, but one of the things I'm trying not to focus on, not doing comedy now, is how happy I am. I have no anxiety. I'm calling people just to talk. Before, because we're just around people so much. We're in such social atmospheres. Now I'm like calling people. I'm like, hey, how's your day? I never did that before ever in my life. I couldn't give a fuck about how somebody's day was going.
And now you're just like casually, you care about people.
Yeah. Dude, my dad retired. I'm just talking. My dad never called me just to be like, hey, what's up? And now he's calling me every day. He's just like, got a new grill. I'm like, all right, man, that's what's up. But yeah, so we'll get into it from there. So you had an interest. You grew up in several different places.
Yes, I've been told it's a weird childhood, but it was. So I was like born and raised in Nigeria for like not long. I think it was like a sizable portion of my childhood, but other Africans are like, I know you're a Yankee.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like when I was 5.
Yeah.
We I was like 4 and some change, and we like moved to America briefly for like a couple months, and then we moved to Venezuela, and then we stayed there for a couple years, and then we moved back to America to Texas, which is where I like tell people I'm from, because that's where I was like raised mostly.
So you moved around, and I'll have more questions about that. But moving around, so it was your dad's job that took you guys place, or your mom's job?
It was my dad's job. So my mom was a teacher, and my dad he at the time was a petroleum engineer, so you just
whoa, dude.
Whoa. So that's not the weirdest thing about my dad, I promise you.
No, that's just it sounds like a very like I just imagine him like mixing up chemicals in a lab.
He's like
that, or just lighting petroleum on fire to see which one burns the best.
It's not even that. I wish it was that interesting.
Yeah.
No, he does the mathematical like equations to figure out where oil is, and then like goes to the like he used to.
What? That's
go
it.
to
I've
the
never
rig
heard of
and
that
then
job.
have
That's
people
interesting.
drill down, and he has like mathematical projections. His laptop used to be like, those 1990 movies where they'd have like 3D imaging on the computers and
Yeah, yeah.
waves and graphs and shit, and it
Yeah.
looked fancy, but it didn't mean anything. That's what his computer looked like all the time growing up. It was just like
really? Whoa, dude.
all these graphs and shit. And yeah,
I wonder what a mess up in that job is like. Like the oil's here, bring all the equipment. It's like, oh shit, I was off.
fucked up.
It's down the field. I swear it's down the field.
that's $1 million fuck up.
Yeah.
That's not.
Sorry. I was off 0.5. Yeah, so you guys moved around for that. So I'd imagine that job would take you guys all over. Do you remember much about growing up in Nigeria?
So I call it my first stint in Nigeria because we'll get into it later. But I went back for like 9 months when I was 15ish.
Yeah.
But I kind of remember a little bit. I remember because we were living on. My dad he was a petroleum engineer and a professor at University of Ibadan. And he like
My cousin went there.
I hear it's really big.
He
in the
played
Arlington
football
crowd.
there.
Yeah,
they did not have a football team. It's weird.
Not an American one. No, not an American.
He went
football
there
team.
to play American football. It's pretty weird.
Well, you know what?
They were champs. They
I think
won.
they won that year.
They had
'cause they
no
were the only team
competition.
in the league.
No
he started it,
competition.
and he was
All-star.
He is the Nick Saban of Nigerian American football.
His name is Francis Jones. If you're not.
Oddly enough, I know some Nigerians named Francis Jones. No.
Francis is a pretty universal name.
Yeah. Well, it's
Well, it's
like,
because white people colonized everywhere, and then we're like, hey, here's a Francis is
yeah,
the name.
and like Francis is like Catholic-ish.
Yeah.
And that was like big in Nigeria, so you got a lot of.
Oh,
like,
let's get into that. That's because that's one thing I'm very interested in where certain religions thrive. Obviously, Christianity is like one that, was spread illegally. But so
That's a nice
so
way to put it.
yeah. So Christianity's big.
Yeah. So Nigeria is roughly speaking 2/3 Christian, 1/3 Islam. Roughly speaking.
Okay.
And it's like, so the North. God, please, if you're Nigerian and you're listening to this, do not call me on this. It's been a while. I haven't been in like a decade.
They're not going to call you. They're going to call me.
Well, they're not going to call you. You're white. They're going to come find me like, you don't know your culture. Roughly speaking, the North, as I understand it, is mostly like Muslim, and then like the South and the East are very Christian. Like it's heavy Christian. And then it's like different sects of Christianity. So like my dad, while the British were there, my dad was raised Catholic, and then English Protestant, and then like now they have like what I call Nigerian Baptist, which is like almost like evangelical in the way, like,
Damn.
For example, my uncle is a preacher in Nigeria, and he came to DC at the beginning of the year, back in January or something, to do a prayer. Like it was like a prayer ceremony. It was like a week-long prayer ceremony where they took like preachers from international countries and brought them to pray with Mike Pence and Mike
I
Pompeo.
feel like I heard about this.
And like that was like that he was like, yeah, Mike Pence is reasonable. That's my uncle's. That's their branch
he doesn't
of
know. He's like, yeah, he came us to.
No. But like,
Oh, I
because
see.
he's like, Mike Pence is like, oh yeah, I'm not in a room with other women that's not my mother slash wife.
And your uncle's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. He has a point. God doesn't want you, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's I always respect people's. When it comes to religion, I always try to respect people's stance, because it's like, hey, if it does that for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By all means. But don't pull me aside and be like, hey, I just want to let you know you're going to burn in hell if you don't. Like, that's where I'm like, whoa.
And don't come to parts of Nigeria.
Yeah. So is there conflict between the Christians and the in Islam?
Yes, and then there's like cultural issues, and because like, it goes back to colonialism.
Right.
Big C word. Because like they basically, when the British came, they basically just did what they did in India. They drew an arbitrary line, ethnicities be damned, and said, figure it out, niggas, you're Nigerian.
Whoa,
now.
yeah.
So there was like the Hausa people, there's Igbo people and there's Yoruba people, and then there's a bunch of small fucking tribes. I'm one of those small fucking tribes, so I'll take it offensively, Nigerians. And like we all just got sucked in. We're all Nigerian. We're all super proud about being Nigerian. But if you're, like in DC, the first question someone asks after you're like, "Oh, I'm from DC," they're like, "What job? What do you do?"
Yes. Yeah,
in Nigeria, it's like, "What tribe are you?" And so, like, culturally speaking,
do you want to shout out your tribe?
Isha. I'm Ishan. But we're
I'm trying to get some listeners from.
You're not gonna it's such a small tribe. But it's roughly Yoruba land, so everyone that looks at me, I look vaguely Yoruban.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, if anyone looked at me, they'd be like, "Oh, you're Yoruba," and my name, my full African name, looks Yoruba, but it's not, because they're related but not the same.
Yeah. So once again, I'm asking stuff I know nothing about.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is there like a lot of internal conflict in Nigeria because of all this, or is Nigeria for the most part pretty peaceful?
It is. So I mean, like there's conflict. There's like the issues with Boko Haram, and like there are internal disputes. It's not as far as I understand, it's not as bad as it was maybe like 20 or 30 years ago, which is, I guess, in the 1990s was when Nigeria was officially recognized as a democracy. So like, it's not as bad as it was before then. And there was a civil war at one point. And they have like ethnic divisions that are problematic. Like people from the north don't really like the south. And the east,
it's like Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're from the north, you're a Giants fan. If you're from the south, you're an Eagles fan. And y'all don't really fuck with
I didn't know that until I went to college with a bunch of Jersey kids, and they would fight each other over being from the north and south, and I was like, man, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like,
it'll be like, is it pork roll or Taylor ham? And
I'm like, you guys are from the same state. Don't you guys all don't you guys all live on the trash pile? Like,
and they'd be like, no, but my trash pile is better.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, Nigerians are, if you ever meet a Nigerian, we're the most like cockiest in Africa. We're just like, oh, Nigeria is the best. Any Nigerian, we could be Hausa, Igbo, we can fight each other.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, yeah, but I mean, go Cameroon, and the Nigerians will stop fighting amongst each other and be like, nigga, what did you say? It's Nigeria, gang, we super Eagles.
Yeah.
So we're very we're very like, there's conflict.
Is there border conflict?
Like in regards to Nigeria and other countries?
Yes, yeah.
Not. I know there are issues in certain regions. So like in the north where Boko Haram is, there are issues up there, and like Cameroon has to kind of deal with them as well.
Right.
And I think parts of Senegal have to deal with them as well. So there are issues in that regard, but I don't think there are any like straight up state-led conflicts.
None of it's trending on Twitter.
No, there aren't any issues. Not that there was a coup in Mali the other day, and nobody talks about it on Twitter.
Yeah, no. You know what's trending on Twitter is Netflix movies. That's what trends on Twitter.
I mean, listen, Project Power was banging. I don't blame them. It was.
I didn't like the movie.
Really?
I haven't finished either. I haven't made it through.
I mean, it's not. So here's the thing. It's not a good movie. Is it fun? Yeah, for sure.
I just like, for movies like that, when I know what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, you just figure, all right, eventually one of them takes the pill. I haven't finished the movie. This is what I predict. So far, Jamie Foxx hasn't taken the pill yet.
Okay.
He hasn't taken the pill yet. I'm maybe about halfway through. Mm-hmm. My guess is that he finally takes the pill and he has like a super power.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I knew it.
Yeah, I don't know. The part of the movie where he takes, spoiler alert, he takes the pill and things happen. The explanation they give is kind of dumb, but like, whatever. By that point, you're like an hour and a half into the movie, and you're like, we know what we're here for.
Yeah. It's like who's the guy who did Transformers?
Oh, Michael Bay. Yeah.
It's like a Michael Bay film. Like, I remember when they gave him shit about like, eventually the third Transformer film came out, and they're like, dude, this is not, there's nothing plot, there's no plot. He's like, what plot do you need? It's giant robots fighting each other. And it's like, yeah, I guess he's right. That's what you want.
It's the same thing with like Bad Boys. They were talking shit, and he's like,
But
it's
Bad Boys is
Miami
great.
cops.
Yeah,
blowing up.
Bad Boys is great. I haven't seen the third one.
Bad Boys 1 is great. Bad Boys 2 is okay.
I saw
It's
one.
fun.
I saw one when I was a little kid, and that was like, I'm like, oh my god, this is the coolest movie I've ever seen. And then I saw 2, so I already had that like a love affair with it. I haven't seen 3 yet.
I haven't seen 3, but it's not done by Michael Bay. It's done by it's produced by Bay, but it's done by.
Oh, so it might be like a good movie.
I highly doubt it. I
know.
I mean, it's fun. That's all you care about.
Hey, as long as they're giving those guys work, I'm happy.
Yes, because Will Smith needs more work.
Yeah, that is true.
It's fine.
I wonder how much money that guy has.
He has enough money for his kids to like culturally be white.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they don't. If you see Willow and Jaden, they're just free. They don't. They're not bothered about nothing. Jaden's mom fucked one of his homeboys. Had an entanglement with one of his homeboys. He's not on Twitter talking about it.
He was friends with.
Yeah, that's how they met. Was he brought August to the crib, and then they started hanging out, and then Jada like whatever, and it's like,
man, the balls on that guy to be like, I'm gonna fuck Will Smith's wife,
and talk to Will about it.
Yeah,
and have be in his face of it. Yeah, man.
They talked. I don't even know the whole thing about it.
Yeah, they like sat down. So he was like, "Yeah, Will give me his blessing," and then for the red table talk, which is like, it was Will and Jada was like, "Well, you didn't give him a blessing," and Will was like, "No," but what he was trying to say was that we had a conversation, and I let him know that me and you were no longer at a point where it would matter to me.
Yeah,
and but to fuck your homeboy's mom. And it just so happens your homeboy's mom is Jada Pinkett Smith.
That's wild, man. And then for it not to be big, I didn't even know that side of the story.
Yeah.
But also too, like you hear them talk, and like there was that big thing when they almost like created like I don't know how to put it, like woke, being young and woke. Like there was one interview they had when they were real young, and they're like, they were like they're like, everything is everything. You're like, whoa, these are some woke kids.
I'm telling you, that's
some woke shit.
That's a level of rich that you want to aspire to, where your kids can just be laissez-faire. You listen to Jay's. I was listening to Willow Smith's new song the other day, and I was like, yeah, bro, this is I got money rich. This is like, I don't have worldly issues, so now I'm worried about like astrophysical issues.
yeah,
man.
Dude, and I didn't like when I heard like Jaden Smith's last album, I didn't want to like it, but there's so much money behind it and put into it. You're like, yeah, this is a good album.
I mean, for what it's
good
worth,
album.
He's musically inclined. Like, you don't have to like him, but his music bangs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind him. I don't mind the guy. I loved Karate Kid. He did great in Karate Kid.
No,
I was a fan.
It was a horrible fucking movie, bro. You can't.
I know. I had to watch it with my ex-girlfriend and her family, and they were like really into it, and we had to watch it with her crazy grandmother, who was like little, like she was going. You know what I mean? And she would do this thing where someone would say something in the movie, and she would repeat it, like for every line. And I remember it was the hardest I've ever had to like try not to laugh. Because they're all used to it. I don't know the family. Like they would say something. He's like, "You need to use your power," and she'd be like, "You need to use your power." I was like, "Oh my god, it was bad." This is off tangent. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. So in Nigeria, now that you're a little bit, I mean, you still visit, you still see family.
I haven't been back in more than a decade. I was supposed to. So my dad and brother was supposed to go back like literally the week after Corona hit. So they were supposed to.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this. Yeah,
March 24th, and then they couldn't. Their shit got canceled because they were going this family stuff. And then I was supposed to. Me and my brother were talking about going next year, and so I haven't been back. 2007, I think, summer 2007.
So I was 17 then. So you were what, like?
I was 14 going on 15.
14. All right.
I turned 15 in Nigeria.
So when you went back, like if you were to go back now, I guess there's like, I mean, obviously there's some customs and stuff that would you think you'd have to be like, oh shit, I forgot, I'm not supposed to, or do you think it's all pretty? No, like, I could get around.
Yeah, it's all pretty good. Like a lot of African countries, not just Nigeria, are very like just Europeanized, Americanized in culture. I mean, you get cable there, you get all of this shit. So it's like it's very, and then the internet,
Yeah.
it's very egalitarian, for lack of a better word. And so, I mean, like, I don't think there are any cultural issues. Like, they would make me go to church, and that would be a bitch.
Yeah.
And they like wake you up. They like wake you up, depending on how religious your family is. But my dad has
Not at all. No religion in my family.
Lucky. My dad has 14 brothers and sisters. Of the ones that are alive,
Are they all scientists?
no. 11 of them are a pastor, preacher, deacon, and or bishop of some kind. Yes.
That's interesting. So your dad came from a religious, very, very religious background, but he's a scientist, pretty much.
He's a scientist.
He's a practitioner of the sciences.
Not only is he a scientist, he's generally ambivalent to religion. He's super political. Like,
yeah.
At one point was on the run from the Nigerian government.
That's so dope. I want to interview your dad.
Oh God! I one day I will. He'll say stories offhand. Like when he told me about how he was on the run, he'd be like, "Yeah, I was glad I married your mom because I figured at one point I'd be on the run from the Nigerian government, and then like 2 years later, I was on the run from the Nigerian government, and they came to your mom and da 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 da, and I'm like, what?
yeah.
I'm talking about mom, and she's like just desensitized to it. So she's like, yeah, your dad, he was on. Well, I mean, like it was on a run, but it was more like
that's so funny how parents do that, dude. Yeah. That's so funny how parents do that. So he was on the run from Nigerian government. So was it just he was just political activist?
Yeah, and he was at one point. I don't know the full story. He'd have to say it, but at one point he was the head of a union that like went on strike. A bunch of unions went on strike in Nigeria. And this is
okay.
When, they were under military rule, and they were causing problems for the military. And the military basically wanted to get a hold of them and say, "Hey, you need to like work with us or else." And him, my dad, and like a couple other union leaders basically had to go on the run because the government was making people not disappear, but just reconsider their positions.
Oh my God, yeah. That's wild, dude. So, that is wild.
And they threatened my mom, which is you shouldn't threaten my mom. It's a lesson I learned like a decade later. But like,
really?
Never threaten my mom. It's never gonna go well.
I've a tough mom too. My dad was the quiet discipliner. Like he would always just show disappointment. And my mom's the one who would like smack me around.
Yeah, see,
tough woman.
My dad, similar. He was a quiet force. Like if my mom called him in, it was a wrap. I'm finna get
yeah.
Whoop. But she was the one. She was the heavy. She's the one with the belt. She did most of the discipline.
Yeah, because your dad's too busy finding oil.
he's too busy earning money for the family.
Yeah. So man, that's. So your dad's on the run from Nigeria. So is there any other gems that he drops that is just like
just casually?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So he will drop stories about he dropped like a gem once about when he was oh God, I might get yelled at for it. Whatever. Whenever he went to University of Texas. So basically he was like causing problems. I don't know what the full story is, but when he was 19, essentially the university he was at and some people from higher up basically sat him down and said, "Listen, we're getting you out of here. You can either do this, you can take this scholarship to America, or we can have problems." So my grandma was like, my mama, she was like, "Oh, you're gonna go to America." So he went to America. He got his undergraduate, he got a master's, he got 2 PhDs. It's either 2 PhDs and a master's, or 2 masters and a PhD, and I never can remember which one. And he's talking to me about University of Texas. He lived in East Tulsa, which was like the hood back at that time,
Okay.
I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, man, there was this club me and your Uncle Shabazz used to go to. We called it Club Vietnam." And I was like, "Why did you call it Club Vietnam?" I can't wait to hear this. And he was like, "Yeah, Vietnam wasn't the name, but we called it Club Vietnam because it had a body count. And like Vietnam, everyone was going to Vietnam at the time, and if you weren't, you would go to Club Vietnam. And like Vietnam, when you went to Club Vietnam, either you came back dead or with an illegitimate child." And I was like, what?
It's like that's where you hung out.
Yeah, that's where we would go every. He was like, yeah, we lived down the block. We would go every Friday, and I was like, what? He's an interesting character. He dropped family history on me once. That was like terrible. Like he told me this whole story about how I got the last name Agbon because that's not our full last name.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, when the British came in, they like were fighting. So there was like, 1900s ish, late 1890s, early 1900s is when the British like started the assault on the region named Nigeria or whatever. And so they're like literally fighting their way through like tribes to like colonize them.
Yeah.
And so my great grandfather was like the head of whatever tribe we were part of. His last name, I don't know the full, but his name was Agbon Lemewasa. So that was what he was, and he was chieftain, and there were other chieftains, and so they all got together, formed a kind of army, and they were going against the British, and they lost clearly. And so as part of the surrender, like their surrender treaty, they had to formally submit to the British, and then they had to give up their youngest son of each wife that they had to the British for upkeep, for like safekeeping.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And so my great grandfather had 12 wives.
What a wild negotiation. Could you imagine like now, like if we got into war with China?
We're gonna need,
and Trump's like, all right, well, just give us your firstborns.
we need one of your sons of every general,
which is something Trump would. I could see if that popped up, I'd be like, yeah, of course, of course.
Be like, hey man, we need that general's son. Oh, you got daughters? We'll take two.
Yeah, wild. So you guys were also too. It's funny how names are like changed like that too, because my dad dropped my last name is Benoit, which is French Canadian. It was like Thanksgiving one time. He just dropped. I don't remember how it came up. It was like, hey, someone said something, and he said, he's like, oh yeah, Benoit means horse teeth. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah. Well, our family fled Canada because we were horse thieves, like hundreds of years ago. And that the slang for that was like a Benoit. So when they moved to America, they just went by the Benoits. I'm like, all right, well, let's cut this turkey. That's good news.
Yeah. It's like you were Agbon Lemuel, and then the British took your grandpa and raised him. Yeah. And when they were like, hey, what's your name? And he said Agbon Lemuel Sana. They were like, oh, nah. Cut off the first 5 letters. Interesting. It's Agbon, and
So that's family history. So you guys, you remember, so you moved to Venezuela after that.
Yes.
What was the process? Like, I mean, were you old enough to process, like, all right, we're going to a different fucking country.
Yeah. Like, so we had already gone to America at that point. So, like, my mom is American. Yeah. And so we had gone, we were literally for like a couple months, we were staying with my grandma. I'm in like American kindergarten. And they move us, or American pre-K, and then they move us to Venezuela. And they just kind of like, I don't remember a real conversation about it. My mom was just like, yeah, your father is in Venezuela. You got a job there. We're moving. And right. I remember getting on the plane from Texas to Venezuela. At the time, it was like 5.5 hour flight. Get off. We lived in Caracas at the time. And then... yeah, it was cracking. This is before Venezuela, did the whoo thing, and so it was great. Yeah, and I went to school in Venezuela. I loved it. To this day,
Venezuela's like a beautiful place for the most part, right? I mean, I've never been, but
it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. It's very tropical, right?
The people there are beautiful. It's like it was wonderful while I was there. Yeah, and it was I still say first grade was one of the best years of my life. Top 3.
That is I don't know anybody who's been like, what was like one of the best years, like first grade?
First grade, bro. I was in Venezuela. I was living out a life. I was having a grand old
time. You guys
time.
by like, is there like beaches everywhere? Is it like that type of?
No, not near Caracas. There's a beach. It's like, I don't know, 2-3 hours. But I remember we would like take a weekend trip to the beach. It's like a 3-hour drive. Yeah. And you're from Texas. 3 hours is nothing. Right. So we would just go. We went there. We went hiking in the mountains once, which is because there are mountains just there. Yeah, outside the city. Yeah. Later on, we moved from Caracas. This is after we moved back to Texas. My dad stayed in Venezuela. Just my mom couldn't do the whole Spanish, and she couldn't find a really good job she liked over there, so she just moved back to
I know.
Texas.
I think you get to a certain point too, like in your age, where you're just like, I don't want to learn another
Yeah,
language.
she's
like,
like,
I'm done.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah. I could totally understand that.
So yeah, she just moved out back. But my dad, we would go back every summer to like spend the whole summer with my dad.
Yeah.
And like have the family reunited for a full like 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And we moved to a town outside of Caracas called Los Teques, and Los Teques is like in the mountains, like the house. I vividly remember that house. That house was so fucking beautiful.
Oh, really?
It was so fucking.
I thought you were
beautiful.
gonna say it was like just like a little shack, like
No,
like
it was like carved.
that's how I
out
just
of the
picture
mountain
houses
and shit.
in the mountains. But it was like a nice,
It wasn't a mansion, but it was like
just a nice house.
nice house.
Yeah,
that had
yeah.
like Spanish wood, like fucking
Oh,
oak
shit.
wood,
Yeah.
oak wood, everything. It was like I remember just running around that house being like, this is so nice.
yeah.
I had my own room for the first time ever, and
Yeah.
because I had a little brother, and so anybody with siblings and family members that don't think you should be spoiled know that you sleep in that same bedroom until you're like
Yes.
I don't know, 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
until you get tired of each other.
My split off from sleeping in the same room with my brother. I think I was like 12 or 13. I think it's when I became a teenager. I'm like, I need my own.
Yeah,
It's like when I started jerking off. I'm like, I need my own room. I need it.
I was 15. It was when I came back from Nigeria. I was like, I can't do this. I like basically lived in my grandma's house.
Yeah, you can't.
'Cause I
Dude,
can't.
it's tough.
But I had my own bedroom at like those summers, and Venezuela was
Damn, dude, you make me want to go visit. Like, I just want to like
not now.
Yeah.
It's no bueno.
When things clear up, you know. But that's so funny too. And like, I remember because I grew up in I don't want to say like a small house, but it was like, you know, 3 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my parents' bedroom, my bedroom, my brother's bedroom. You know, it was like it was a nice little house. And then we go visit family in other places, and the house like because I guess in like DC area, it's costs a lot. And we would go visit families in like Massachusetts, and they would just have these farm. Like, first off, I didn't know there were farms in Massachusetts. Like, there's a lot of like rural area in Massachusetts, like cows and shit. I'm like, here, I just imagine a bunch of people like honking horns and saying "fuck you" and like that's what I see.
But like, that's because that's Boston, and that's all.
That's all Boston, but
Yeah.
Plymouth and Cape Cod and all those areas are just like they're pretty rural. But to see other people's houses, isn't it funny to go to someone who's like really, really loaded?
Yeah.
And to walk in their house and just be like, holy shit.
I will never forget the funniest moment of my fucking life.
Yeah.
I like my little brother. So Dallas is like very segregated. Where I grew up is Dallas, but
Yeah.
it's very segregated. But like, just depending on what school you go to, you can be around people that are like obscenely rich, and you're not.
Yeah.
And
I
we
had
grew
that in my school.
Yeah, we grew up like middle class, lower
Middle
class.
fun. Like, yeah. I was the
And
same way.
my little brother went to this school. He went to a private school for high school called Bishop Dunn, and everyone there was like loaded.
Yep.
And I remember he went to this birthday party, and as we're going to, my mom's like, "You want to come with me to pick up Ozan?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And so we hop in the car, and as we're pulling up, she's like, "Listen, these people are rich." And by this point, I've been in high school. I've seen like my rich friend's house. They live in a place in Dallas called Highland Park, which is so rich that they sequestered themselves and made their own school district.
Jesus
It's where Jerry Jones lives. Is Highland Park.
Okay.
And then, so I've been to Highland Park. I've seen houses. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I've seen rich houses. I got friends that live in Highland Park. I got friends that live out in Louisville. I've seen rich houses. And she's like, okay. And so we pull off into this neighborhood, and all of these houses, each house is successfully like just more and more rich. And we get to this gated community. And so she puts in the code, and the dude comes out, and he's like, "Oh, you're going to this address? No worries." Opens the gate. We go in. The houses in the gated community bigger and bigger and just more ostentatious.
Yeah.
And then we get to the end of this cul-de-sac, and it's like these 3 giant houses, and then there's a gate. And I was like, "Wait, is there a gated community in a gated community?"
Yeah.
And so then she presses the thing. She's like, "I'm here to pick up my son." They open the gate. We go up this winding pathway. We crest this hill, and it's this fucking McMansion. Just they
Oh
have
my God,
all
dude.
this fucking land, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "What I just started laughing because my brain couldn't fathom that like
Yeah,
rich of
that's
a fucking
real. Like the fact that that's even real.
Yeah, and then we walked in and everything is like they're
Grandiose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear your echo in the fucking atrium.
Bro.
They had an atrium. I was like,
Yeah.
what is my little brother comes running up. He's like, this is the time to go. I'm like, get your rich bitch ass in the car, bro. You
Yeah.
got too comfortable with these.
Dude, my experiences though too as a kid, like we're the same thing where it's like I went to like kind of like a very diverse school area. We had very rich kids, we had very poor kids. It was all over. My summer job is I worked at the country club at the snack bar, and I would wait on I would work, all my rich kids, all the kids who were rich went to my school. This was their country club. So they're like playing by the pool. I'm like making them quesadillas and shit. I remember as a kid, the first time I saw a fridge that poured the ice out, that was on my, these people have money. That's like the earliest time I realized like a difference in like people's income.
The first time you saw just ice being able
Well,
to
I just remember associating like fridges that could give out the ice and water was like, these people have a lot of money.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, this was when I was younger, and it was like those weren't common. You know what I mean?
But it is weird what like we like equate.
A lot of my
wealth
friends,
with.
a lot of my friends didn't even have freezers. They had a freezer in the garage that you would fill up with ice. You know what I mean? Like
Okay, yeah,
old,
I
like
know.
hunting freezers.
It's weird what you equate wealth with, man. Because like,
Yeah, that to me was like, holy shit, these people have money.
I remember when I first, like 5th grade, went over to a friend's house and he had 2 game stations. He had a PlayStation.
Oh
and
yeah,
a game
yeah,
station.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
That was a big
what?
one too. That was a big one. Or to have more than one controller. If you had like 3 controllers, I was
Yeah,
like,
and you're a
whoa.
single child. What? Why?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you got to think about it. You're only spending money on one kid. You know. Was
Sorry,
that work?
I'm clocking out of work technically.
Oh, really? I used to do that for my job too. I would clock in at 8 and then I would go back to sleep and I'd get up at 10 and then work.
If you are from my job and listening to this podcast, I have never done that ever, and I certainly don't.
Jay's
do
been
that
working this
every
entire time.
day.
He's been working this entire time.
I technically have been clocked in this entire time. Whatever. I just told him I'm out.
You're good.
Yeah.
Another scenario I had too was my freshman year of college. I went back to one of the kids on my team. He lived in Atlanta. I'd never been to Atlanta before. And we go back, and it was 5 of us that were staying at his house for Easter. It was a bunch of us who couldn't go home. And we stayed at his place. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, where the fuck are we all going to sleep? There's five grown dudes going down. And we pull up onto the outer rim of Atlanta, which is just the same thing. I mean, just huge $1 million mansions in this area. And we're just driving by one. I'm like, no fucking way he lives in this house. And we pull up and we're unloading all our stuff. And the mom comes out. She's like, all right, we have a room for each of you. I'm like, holy shit. So much. It's nice. But I also don't desire that type of life.
That is a level of wealth. Like, I think I want to be
I mean,
rich.
maybe if I have like 5 kids, I'd want that now.
I don't want 5 kids, man.
Hey, man, life's crazy. Who knows? You could...
Listen. I don't want 5. I barely want 3 kids. You know what I mean?
Jamal gave me shit because I was like, I want kids. He's like, you don't want kids, man.
I'm not
like,
saying
I
you
want
don't
kids.
want kids. I'm sure. I mean, provided the world doesn't end or whatever, kids would be nice. But like,
I see myself having a few unpredicted.
that's fair. I mean,
I feel that's...
but like, you don't. At a certain point, you have to kind of like sit with yourself and be like, "Listen, guys,
What can I handle?
Yeah.
What can I handle? I know.
Like, what do you want? Like, my parents had 2, and like,
I think 3. I think 3 would be solid. 3 kids. If things miraculously turn around in the next 5 years, 3 would be solid.
I guess I could do 3.
I also don't know a lot of comedians, like even successful comedians, they have like 1-2 kids max.
Yeah, because 3 is like a full house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say, by the time you get to the 3rd one, as long as you're it's not like boy girl, because then you have to buy the girl all new shit.
Yeah.
If you're running like girl boy, and
I wouldn't mind girl boy.
Yeah. Well, even that, you have to buy the boy. You need like you need a sandwich so they can get hand-me-downs, and they're not gonna like it. But hey,
Yeah.
by the time you get to wearing it, it's gonna be back in style, bro. Suck it up. I need you to.
Yeah, it will come around. Don't
Yeah.
worry. It goes.
You'll be
Fashion goes in circles.
You'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
Because I don't care if I am rich. I'm not made of money. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna buy you all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't know how I'm gonna like do with my kids with like. What at what point do you give them stuff and what point do you make them earn stuff? Because
Oh.
I was raised on a very earn it basis. You know what I mean? Like
I think that's what it should be.
yeah.
That's how, because like now that I'm an adult, I look at kids' shoes. That's a big one. I look at kids'
Yeah.
shoes and I'm like, those things are like $40. Anybody can afford those. Well, I mean, within a certain wage class. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Like, for what I'm making, I can afford. If I had like kids, and
I'm
sure
ridiculous with the money I spend on my shoes for myself.
Yeah.
I'm ridiculous.
I buy shoes on a whim if they pop up in my Instagram feed. You know
yeah,
what I'm
dude.
saying?
Yeah, I am. That is one thing I'm bad at.
Yeah, and so it's like for like shoes or clothes or something, and I'm sure there are a bunch of kid like fees that I'm not even thinking about between like food or school and all of that. But I mean, like, I'm sure you could afford them. But I remember growing up, my mom's like, I'm not buying you no name brand shoes. Them Shaqs work just as well as them fucking Jordans. You
Yeah, yeah.
$12 Shaqs instead of them $30 Jordans. You out your fucking mind.
Yeah. Dude, the best pair of shoes I had growing up, the ones that I remember the most, are the ones that you'd step in and there was rims in the shoe that would spin. Do you remember those?
Yes, I remember those.
I thought those. I remember getting a pair of those and being like, I'm on top. Like this, it does not get better than this.
I do miss the days when like you was the hottest man on the playground if you had the light up shoes, bro.
Yeah,
You were just stepping
yeah,
in, you were
yeah.
like, you can't see them, but you cupping your hands
I
around your shoes.
I wasn't allowed to get them. Because my mom was like, you look crazy.
Oh man.
I was like, yeah, crazy cool.
Yeah, you thug it, bro. You got the little light up shoes.
What else? What were the team? You remember the T-Mac era?
Yes.
I didn't get it. I didn't have a pair of T-Macs.
Oh man, the T-Max, they came right during the AI era. I never had T-Max or Allen.
He wasn't even. I'd never had Allen Iversons either. I never had Jordans until I was like older, and I was like, you know what? I'm fucking buying these. Tracy McGrady was not in the league very long, was he?
Oh, he was. I think 13 years.
13 years?
He was
Maybe,
between like 4 teams.
Yeah. He fizzled out though, right?
I
can't
wouldn't
even
say
remember.
I wouldn't say he fizzled out. He just got old. Like he just got tired and old, and like to play the way he played is a lot. It's like people don't last that long.
How do you think LeBron's gonna do during these playoffs? Do you think the Blazers are gonna knock him out?
I don't think so, but like I'm not exactly sure because Dame is playing terrifying, bro.
He's on it. I think he might fucking shut him down.
Dame has that look in his eye.
Do you know when Game 2 is?
It's
Is
probably
it
the day after tomorrow. 'Cause
Okay,
they just
yeah.
played yesterday. It might be today. Shit. I just know Dame plays terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
I think it is today, actually. Real talk, because Clippers played yesterday.
Yeah, I think they played 2 days ago.
Yeah, let's see, ESPN. But no, Dame is, and like, I'm like a. So roughly speaking, I'm like a Heat and Thunder fan. Like I've been a Heat fan since '06. I don't want to hear it, people.
Yeah.
And I like the Thunder just because I went to school in Oklahoma State alumni, baby. And so like, but like even being a Thunder fan, watching Dame basically destroy single-handedly the Thunder with one shot was the most beautiful, and it's like a you hate it, but even you have to admit begrudgingly it's beautiful, and just how the shot and he's waving bye
Yeah.
and yeah, he's a murderer. He's like a killer. He's terrifying legitimately.
I think I want LeBron to get at least like one. I think he could get with how many years he. I mean, he's playing.
Oh, he's playing prime basketball.
Yeah, he's playing prime, but he can maybe get 3 more. Maybe
rings.
Yeah. If they won the next 3 years.
So here's my thing. It's like you gotta take into account also his opponents. So let's say this is Dame's year, right?
Right.
This is a 7-game series, no questions asked. And then immediately after, he has to take on whoever wins between, I think, the Clippers and not the Clippers and the Mavericks, but the Thunder and the Rockets. So he has to take. So he goes from, if he beats Dame in 7 games, he has to go against Harden for 6.
Right.
And then he takes on whoever wins.
Yeah.
And so, but he's gonna be so tired. He might win this one, and then he'll have 4. And then next year, you're getting a full bubble league year, because I don't think we'll be out of the bubble.
No, they're not going to be out of the bubble. And it's going to be interesting to see who comes back, because I think this bubble really turned off. But also, I heard an interesting concept that players are playing much more free basketball, and they're playing better now. Because they're being supervised. They can't go out and get fucked up the night before.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, they're pretty much on watch.
Yeah.
And there's no crowd, so players are really just playing
Locked in,
basketball.
It's like street ball, but like.
Yeah.
Or a 3-on-3 game, 5-on-5 game at the gym or something.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, as soon as they can, crowds are gonna come back.
Yeah.
But I think this is like gonna be such an interesting era to watch sports in general.
We're like 3 years away from like a stadium or an arena being able to fill.
If the vaccine comes back,
No, dude,
if they get a vaccine,
listen, man, I got a homeboy who does things for the government that I can't say, but he brought up a very interesting point where he was like, SARS only got a vaccine like 3 years ago, and that shit's been around since 2002.
right?
Let's say best case scenario, you do get a first wave vaccine.
But SARS wasn't also destroying the world. It was
no,
only destroying
but like
a
it's
few
also
parts of
like,
it.
makeup wise is very similar to COVID virus.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So like, okay, let's say you get the first wave vaccine next year. You don't want to be the first waiver, so let's say you're waiting until my argument is when the rich people take it, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna adopt that one.
When Warren Buffett is putting that shit in his arm, I got you.
Yeah.
And give me the same thing. But like you're like 3 years away, and then you have like cultural scarring. It's gonna fuck people up for a while.
Yeah,
culturally.
so the PTSD of all this
Yeah.
is what, and that's one thing I've thought about so much with like comedy, is because even if they come out with a vaccine, even if best case scenario, like almost godlike scenario, they come out with an immediate fix, everybody, like, you can't get it. Here it is. People are still gonna have PTSD. People are gonna still be weird and wired.
Yeah.
To wear masks, to not
And
go into
also,
crowded rooms.
because the way we handled it was so fucking shitty. Like,
yeah,
you're just gonna have like,
dude, this
3
election
to
is gonna
4
be,
years.
it's gonna be rise no matter what.
Woo! I've been telling folks, I'm like, man, y'all better secure this pathway. I got Nigeria to go back to. You know,
Dude,
me and
yeah,
my family, we good.
yeah. I remember you said that. I'm
We
like,
good.
book me a ticket, dude.
We are good.
I'll learn another language. I'll get out of here.
Listen, because this election is gonna be, it's
This
funny.
is gonna be November is gonna be the wildest time, I think, to possibly happen in political history in the past like 100 years.
Oh, I'm if this goes one way, if it goes, I'm gonna be honest with you. If like Trump gets elected, if he gets fairly elected, or if he cheats his way in,
Yeah.
I didn't already told my parents my mom's retiring in December. I'm sending them niggas on a one-way ticket to Nigeria. We not doing this because people gonna come out.
It is going to be crazy, dude. And like, here's the thing: they've already the shenanigans have already started with the UPS.
Yeah.
USPS. It's already started. It's like, okay, this is just the start. This is just the start of the chaos that's going to ensue.
So this is what I want people, because people think when you bring up like someone not leaving the White House, people, you're jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
First
Because
off,
I always think, so this is, I know where you're going. This is where I'm going to put my thing, is that because people said that he's not going to leave. And I'm like, well, I just imagine like dudes coming in suits, like grabbing him, like time to go. But
so here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
Is that if you want to, I don't think people understand, because you can be like, oh, there's no way, there's da-da-da. But even if there are people in suits outside the door, what you're going to have is like a basic breakdown of people in the government, in the military, having to make a decision. Right. And once they make a decision, if it's not for him, I don't know if you know what happened in Oregon a couple months ago when they essentially had a military coup.
Right.
And for listeners who don't know, you should probably look it up. Oregon, their state legislature, which is very liberal, tried to pass an EPA regulation. Essentially, it was like the Green New Deal for Oregon. And the Republican members of their Senate and Congress basically said, we're not doing that, and walked out. And so the governor was like, well, you can't, they didn't have enough to reach a quorum, so they needed at least a couple of the senators, like state senators, in to like come in so they could have a formal vote, even though the Democrats were going to win, it was going to pass. And the governor basically was like, if you don't come, we'll send the National Guard to make you do your job. And then the governors or the senators, the state senators that are Republican, absconded, went to Utah, Idaho, the parts of Oregon where the white supremacists live. And if you don't know about Oregon white supremacists, I highly encourage you to go Google that shit. They're terrifying. And all of these like far right wing militias protected these Republican senators and were like, oh, if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And like issued a fatwa to the governor and was like, we dare you to come try and get them.
Yeah, dude.
And these were for state senators. Imagine if their Lord and Savior Trump said, I'm not leaving the house. These niggas would be on a one-way bullet train to Washington for the war.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
be crazy, man. And even if even if he's like, fine, I'll leave. Because I don't even think he really wants to be president anymore. You know, I mean, like, we can go into that whole thing. But I think if he does win, the riots that are going to happen on the streets are going to be 5 times what we saw.
Yeah, for George Floyd.
Yeah. It's going to be 5 times that. And it's going to be... It's going to be everybody who hates Trump. You know what I mean? It is going to be...
Well, if he wins, it's going to... Because here's the thing. Even if he loses... We as America are going to have to deal with the fact that we elected him. And there's a reckoning to be done with that. And you're going to have to figure out why you voted for him, if you did vote for him, and why you felt a certain way, why you felt entitled to do certain things.
Right.
Why? Because at the end of the day, 98 point something percent of black women voted against him with a 2% margin of error. Bitches did not fuck with black women. Don't fuck with Trump.
Right.
Like wholesale. It's like 96% of Hispanic women, 80% of Asian women. Like the only group of women that voted for this man were white women, and they voted 53 for him. For black men, it was like 90, maybe 88% didn't. They voted against him. For Hispanic men, it was like 75% voted against him. So clearly, people of color are not voting for him, and like we all said at the beginning, we were like, we don't want to elect him. He's racist, this, and this. And people who did vote for him sat there and they made a choice, whether it was for economic reasons, whether it was because they didn't believe black people or people of color.
Right.
Whatever the reasons were, they made their votes and they did it. And now here and then they made excuses. I remember all of y'all having the same excuses, like, oh, well, it's not gonna be that bad. Oh, well, he'll get people who know what they're doing around him. Yeah. I remember every fucking excuse everyone said. And then look at us. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Almost 200,000 Americans are dead. We've had 3 close calls for international World War IIIs.
Right.
We've had like 2 Civil War close calls. Like, come on, man.
At what point? But here's the thing: all these places, a lot of these things are happening in cities and diverse cultural areas. It's not happening in the places that voted for him, which is most of Middle America.
Yeah,
it's everywhere in between.
It is, but not in like the rural parts of Middle America. It's happening in the cities of Middle America.
You know what I mean. Yeah. It's it's happening in places that like, I mean, I haven't been in the middle of the country much, but from a lot of people I know who've like traveled all around, they're like, dude, you don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I have a bunch of friends that I met in Texas that are all from like Indiana and fucking rural Illinois, and what they say to me, like, people will be like, why are you hanging out with people like that? And I'm like, man, I need to know how they think. Like, I have to understand.
Dude. Yeah. You're better. I can't.
Oh, I need.
You have a better tolerance for me. I can't hang out with people that.
I need, because here's the thing.
I'm ignorant in that way of like, I can't even begin to hear you out. You know.
Oh, that's how I like figured out he was gonna win the first time.
Yeah.
I wrote my dissertation on it in my master's program. I wrote my dissertation, and everybody, I was in London at the time, everybody was telling me, all of my friends that were American were either from the East Coast or the West Coast, very like coastal elite kind of like, and to be fair, those are the people who go to London to get a master's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In political communication.
Sean's calling me. I'll call him back later.
Hey. And so like those are the type of people that go, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no way Hillary loses. And I'm like, guys, I'm from Texas, went to school in Oklahoma. All my friends are from the Midwest. I'm telling you, this is no bueno.
Right.
And then it happened, and I like in my dissertation, I like talk about because I like interview Republicans. I interview groups of Republicans, groups of Democrats, and I'm like, "What do you think about Hillary? What do you think about Trump?" Da, da, da. And I'm talking with these Republicans, and they are just vehemently spastic about like how much they hate Hillary, why they love Trump, and none of it is making sense.
Interesting.
And then if they are making sense, it's like a very like I say all the time. I have a friend. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna put him out there like that.
Yeah.
But he basically told me, we had a full-on conversation. And at the end, I was like, listen, whether or not Trump is being serious, and this is like, I don't know what he has said. It was before he was elected, but he said something wild. And I was like, whether or not he's being serious or he's just using the rhetoric, the fact that he's using the rhetoric is a red flag for me. I can't take the chance that the man is serious because I'm black. And history shows that we gonna get screwed first. And the dude looked at me and essentially was like, "I'm not black. I ain't got to worry about the problem."
Dude, that's wild.
And it's like
That's wild.
But I like that. I appreciate the fuck out of that. Let me know you value me less than you value your money because he said he was doing it for economic reasons.
Yeah.
So if you value your money more than me, now we know what it is.
Well,
We don't have to pretend.
Yeah.
I know where I am. And we know what this is. And I respect that.
I can understand. And honestly, you have to deal with much more than I do when it comes to that stuff. And like, I'm a fucking white dude. But I had friends. I had a friend, and I remember I had one friend who was a very smart dude, philosophy major from William and Mary. Very smart guy. One of my best friends growing up. And he's not a Republican by any means. But I remember the first election came around, we were all talking. I'm like, because in my mind, I'm like, nobody's voting for that guy. You're out of your mind if you're voting for him. And I was like talking to a few friends, and people were like, "Well, it's this was early on when it was like on the fence." And I remember my buddy looked at me and goes, "I'm gonna vote for him." I was like, I couldn't believe like this is the most rational dude I know. I'm like, why? He's like, I want to see the chaos. And I looked at him and I was like, holy shit. But at the time I realized, I'm like, oh, because it won't affect you.
Yeah.
It won't affect you.
Oh man, that level of privilege to just
yeah.
see shit. But like I get that.
He regrets it to this day. I mean, we were younger at the time, but still for like.
I understand. I told one guy, I was like, I want them to do it because I want them to learn.
Yeah.
One girl in my class.
But they haven't learned now. Do you think they're going to learn?
No,
what more can happen?
For the first one, I was like, because we were having this conversation, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna get elected, and I can't wait. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, because they're gonna learn. They think we've had 8 years of Obama. They think we're in they think we're in paradise. They have no fucking clue what's waiting for them, and they're gonna see it, and they're gonna be horrified. They're gonna look in the Dorian Gray painting of themselves and turn old immediately. And I'm like, that's what. And it happened, and here we are, and now like America is shitting themselves. People are freaking out, like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have a race war, da 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 da. What's gonna happen?" And I'm like, "Man, y'all are just now seeing this."
Yeah.
Welcome to the.
It's gonna be nuts, man. I don't want to say I'm scared, but like I definitely am. Like, it's just gonna be. I mean, I think if Biden wins, it's not gonna be as bad. I mean, there's gonna be riots regardless.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be as bad, but if Trump does win, man, it's.
Well, we're just gonna have to. If Biden wins, we're gonna have to deal with the fact that like we elected Trump. If Trump wins, we're not even gonna get that luxury. We're gonna have to keep existing in this like weird mirror world we've put ourselves in, where America is like even more so than the Bush years, the laughing stock of like the world.
Yeah,
like
we're weak. We're ultimately weak, man. And I think, they're hiding with Kamala Harris. Like, I do feel comfortable with her VP.
That was going to be the option.
Yeah. I mean, better than, like, at least that. But, I mean, they can't even have him in the public eye now. They can't have him speak for more than 5 minutes.
No, it's she's going to carry that ticket.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He'll probably die in office. But anyway, we're in an hour. Try to keep it an hour. You want to wrap it up there? Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, man.
We'll finish up with this because I want to finish with the round topic. So out of all the places that you've been and lived, which one, ultimately, if you had to choose, that's where I'm going to go. That's where I want to go back and settle.
Okay. Man, that's a good one. I don't know, man.
To spend the rest of the days out.
I like really loved London. I really
Yeah.
loved London, but I think it would have to
Oh
be.
fuck, we didn't even talk about London.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have a part 2 someday.
All right.
But I really love London, and it was spectacular. But like, I would have to, the answer is Nigeria, because like I said, when if shit pops off, that's where the family is going. And eventually, I'll get back there after I've served my 2 tours in the American War or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think Nigeria. We got a family. We got a family. My dad, took his American and Venezuelan money and built us like a family home in Nigeria in our like home village. So I have that.
That's dope. That's very cool.
I can always, go to Lagos is popping, Abuja is popping, which are Lagos used to be the capital city, and then when.
So there's like a nightlife there and stuff.
Oh man, it's cracking.
Really?
Lagos and Abuja. If you go to Abuja, it's party. If you can ever go on a trip to Africa, you will not be out of place.
Be scammed? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, like, yeah.
I couldn't help it.
Well, we do what we do. No. But like, yeah, if you can ever go to an African trip and you just have the ability, like, you make it and you pop it and everybody you doing comedy tours, go to fucking Abuja. The nightlife in Abuja is cracking, and it's like still nice and shiny because they only built it in the 90s and the early 2000s. And it's like the nightlife is cracking there. I'm a Lagos person myself, but like that's because I spent my teen years in Lagos. Like, when I was 15, I went over there and then we were wilding in Lagos.
Yeah. What's the drinking age? Is there like
I don't know what the official drinking age is. I was 15 and I was drinking beers. It was no problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think the
That's how it is in like most places.
drinking age is like 18 or something like that. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's just. But like nobody was questioning me. I mean, So.
Yeah, it's like America's weird. I think in the sense of like we have a 21-year-old drinking age.
America's weird in a lot of it is like puritanical shit.
Yes,
like that just held over from like the 1700s.
Well, didn't they up the age in like
they upped it in the 60s?
In the 60s, it went from 18
to 19 to 21,
to 21. Yeah,
which is the dumb. That is the one thing I think they should repeal. Like, making the smoking age 21 makes more sense than drinking age 21.
Yeah,
because I've seen other cultures and we'll wrap it up after this. But
You're
like
good.
Very like when I was in London, I've seen other cultures like their drinking age is 18 and they don't the teenagers drink there, but like they don't binge.
They don't binge drink. Yes,
people my age, when I was in the pubs. People my age, they would like get there at like whenever their classes or whenever their job let out at like anywhere starting from noon to like 5 is when people start to filter in, and then people would come and drink, and then maybe on Fridays people drink until like 7 or 9 or whatever, but no one's there till like 2. Or like you go to a club to be there till 2.
People will drink
until
the place is closed.
18, 19-year-olds that are doing that. No one's. You're 26. Like I was 24 when I went over there. At 24, everyone's like, "Yo, we're going to this house party and we're going to be asleep by midnight." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I started drinking like they were drinking, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. If you start drinking at 5, by the time it hits 9, you're tired."
Dude, we drank with we had a bunch of exchange students from Germany come over, and they stayed at everybody's houses. And there was one night we all got drunk in like some parents' basement, and I've only drank like a few times by then, but everybody's like drinking, and the Germans aren't getting drunk. And we're looking at them, we're like, dude, you Germans, you have a crazy tolerance. They're like, no, we just know how to drink.
Yeah, we're drinking.
You guys are just drinking like children.
Yeah, y'all are pounding
when
these
we
back.
were starting, I remember when I was taking off the shots, they looked at us like, what the fuck? They're like, no, we're just going to drink these beers,
we're gonna
dude.
enjoy ourselves, Because, it's such
I was like drunk. I'm like, how much do you hate the Jews? Tell me how much you hate them.
That's hilarious. They're just like, no.
No, that was my grandfather.
We have done an accounting with the Jews.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, I don't know, we have this weird puritanical, like, you can't drink, you can't have sex,
Yes.
you can't da-da-da. And so it makes us, like, which is why college is such a weird time. We're all just getting drunk and fucking. And it's like, if you had the fucking conversation with your kids at, like, 14 and just let them, like, in Spain, they let them sip wine as young as, like, 14. And they're like, one glass of wine if you want it.
Yeah. The first time I drank in front of my parents was at Yom Kippur at a Jewish friend's house. Had a glass of wine.
Yeah. And they're by the time they hit, like, I don't know, 19, they're like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, you just learn early. You just learn early. But it's also, it's developed in American culture now. Like, when you finally do get the drink, you go off to college, this is how you do it. You know, it's...
Yeah, but it's dumb. When I was 21, I took 22 shots for my 21st birthday.
That is so much, dude.
And I blacked. It's the only time in my life I've ever full-on blacked out. 13 hours, don't remember.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could have died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's what's scary is like, there's been I mean, I've never really I brown out a lot. I mean, not anymore, but when I never really blacked out. But a few times that I did, it's like very scary.
Yeah,
because at that point, like, that's what, if you're blacking out, that's the point where you can like fall asleep on your back and like puke in your mouth and die.
Yeah, and it's just a chunk. I'm just like, I'm kind of type
Kids
A.
aren't told what alcohol poisoning is. They don't know how to deal with it.
And it's time of your life that just goes missing and you never get it back. And that's such a hard concept to tell people is that it's like,
it's really, that's nuts, man.
It's
really
just a chunk of your life that gets deleted. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
But yes, to round it out, my answer is Nigeria, long term. Short term, London, but like long term, Nigeria. Gotta
Vacation, Venezuela.
I can't go to Venezuela right now, not just because there's kind of like they're having like a famine right now and political unrest.
Yeah.
So not now.
But you could still go on vacation.
No, I can't. I'll go to Colombia, but not Venezuela.
Yeah, same thing.
Don't let them hear you say that. It will fight you.
Jay, thank you so much for doing the pod, man. Is there anything you want to plug? Instagram?
Yeah,
I'd say shows, but we don't really have.
I don't know
have
what
shows
my next
going on.
outdoor show will be. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Agbon was here. You can find me on YouTube, J Agbon, just J Agbon Comedy. Search that. I before COVID, I put on a monthly show with two other friends, Matt Deakins and Dominique Greer. We had a show. It's called The Heavyweights. Ross has been on it.
Great show.
Check us out on Instagram, The Heavyweights DC. Check out my YouTube page and my Instagram page. I got some like sketch videos coming there soon. Me and Ross did a good sketch video.
Oh yeah, we got our sketch coming out. I forgot about that.
Yo, it's cracking. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Me and my little brother, we're gonna put out the first of a sketch series called the Agbons sometime whenever I get done editing this video.
Yeah, editing's a lot, man.
But yeah, man, check me out. I need more followers. I need subscribers on YouTube.
Send me the link. I'll put it in the description for the pod.
Bet. And whenever COVID's done, I'm gonna be recording an hour, which is gonna be great.
Oh.
So, yeah, I have that to look forward to in 8 years.
Yeah. Guys, check out his hour in 8 years.
Hey.
Jay, thank you so much.
Yo, thank you, man.
All right.
Well, these are my wings. These are my wings. Yeah. These are my wings. Yeah. Well, moving so fast, the clock looks slow. Water my seeds till the flower just grow. Yeah, love so much that my heart get broke. I don't really know how the normal shit go. So, I guess I just play it by ear. Silence is all that I hear. Listening close as I can. Growing up, 1, 2, 3. Jump. Nobody holding my hand, no. Trust is a problem, never knew how. Yeah. That's why I just keep to myself, get what I need, then I'll be out. Who can search the universe with me? Lucifer's human, so are we. All I ever want is what I need, and that don't include your time and company. Follow me, we on the up and up. Remember when I owed $100? Now I look around like, what the fuck? If you don't fuck with me, you fucking up. I know I need to watch my temper, so I don't ever gamble on the weather, but I just watch. Well, the sun is shining, I can look at the horizon. The walls keep getting wider, I just hope I never find them, no, no. Yeah. Well,